What up, bitches? It's the misanthropic one, aka He Who Hungers, and I'm back up in this bitch for another rant. I told y'all that this was gonna happen. I told y'all that social justice warriors, far leftists were gonna come for hip hop, and they've tried over the years, but now it's coming to the forefront. And you heard it here. I said this for, I don't know, I've been more vocal about it probably for the last year and a half. And here we go, okay? As you can see on the screen, this is what I'm going to be talking about. This is off of one of the worst news outlets ever, called Buzzfeed. And you see the title, Will Time Ever Be Up for Abusive Men in Hip Hop? So you know where I'm going with this. Shout out to JD Black. I did a live stream with him on his channel. Go check it out. And I kind of alluded to this subject on there that I was going to do a video. So here it is. Okay. This video, without me going into it too much, is essentially this girl, Sylvia Obell, saying that essentially these guys, you know, guys like Fabulous, Nas, R. Kelly, Extentacion, Russell Simmons, you know, in general, people are being silent about their shit, about their situations that have to do with abuse of women. And it's just, it's ridiculous. She's essentially saying here the Me Too movement still isn't in effect doing anything. And here, let's just go into it. I'm gonna go into a little bit of it because she wrote, this is a real long article. I read it, and I'm going to go over some highlights here because there's some bullshit. October 2008 marks a year since Hollywood juggernaut Harvey Weinstein was taken down by reports detailing decades of sexual harassment and abuse allegations against him. The Titans' fall catapulted Tarana Burke's Me Too movement into a national phenomenon as women and some men felt empowered to call out their abusers. Suddenly, actors, directors, writers, producers, and agents were forced to reckon with their past and present sexual misconduct. Yet throughout this past year of holding men in entertainment to task, the music industry has largely continued to turn a blind eye towards its most popular genre, hip-hop, exhibiting a lack of accountability where alleged abuse is concerned. The fact that many rap artists continue to thrive despite accusations of sexual and/or physical abuse is disconcerting, but it's also less surprising considering the genre's history of reflecting intersections of American society, including the country's complicated relationship between racism and rape. Okay, do you see what I'm saying? Like, look, this first paragraph right here proves my entire point. She doesn't even realize it. Look, first of all, the Me Too movement, started by Tarana Burke, was initially created for black women, okay? But what do I keep telling you? When black people create shit, the white liberal will come in, and what he'll do is he's gonna talk to you, he's gonna pretend that he's on your side, he's your ally, and guess what? It gets hijacked. That's why you see all these white liberals talking about Me Too and this and that. Meanwhile, it was a movement that was meant for black women. But be that as it may, I've said that 1,000 times. I've beaten that dead horse, and you niggas still don't listen to it. But oh, speaking of white liberals, let me just, before I go any further, Buzzfeed, right? Look who runs it. This cuck. Look at him. That's the face of weakness to me. You know, straight cuck, right? So this thing proves. She just says here, where the hell was it? Yeah, the fact that, here it goes, the fact that many rap artists continue to thrive despite accusations of sexual and or physical assault is disconcerting. Listen, we just saw this happen with the Kavanaugh shit with the Supreme Court justice. You need evidence. You can't just look. You're saying accusations. Why would? Okay. So what she's saying is she wants you to immediately be exiled from life, like all these other people have been exiled, like Aziz Ansari, Louis C.K., all these people for an accusation. What was it? Chris Hardwick. You know, all these people need to be exiled. You know, they're automatically guilty just because of an accusation. So, I mean, we could stop there. Just that sentence alone, it destroys her whole argument, honestly. Okay, so she goes on to mention that Lil Wayne and XXXTentacion were both at the top of the charts with their latest album, and she even goes at Eminem, says that he depicted extremely violent behavior towards his ex-wife in his music. Oh God. And they've been accused. Well, XXXTentacion and Lil Wayne have been accused of things. Okay. These transgressions happened before the reckoning, but his ability to make a comeback in this climate is evidence of the Me Too movement's limitations in impacting rap fans, at least to the point where some might cancel their favorite MCs enough to make a dent in their career. See, this is exactly what she wants to do. She's saying, for example, we'll go down to Nas, for example. Go down to my man Nas right here, okay? It recently came out that Khalees, when he was in his relationship with Khalees, that she claims that this shit was going on, that she was getting beat up and everything, and she's coming out with it now. Like, no. Look, I'm sick and tired of that bullshit. I'm sick and tired of the battered wife syndrome where bitches get beat the fuck up and they'll stay with the motherfucker for fucking decades. And it's like, well, I thought he loved me. No, I don't feel bad for you. That's not love. And then number two, it's always at these most opportunistic points where they decide to drop it. It's not like, you know, some random time. It's always like when something's going on, i.e. like the Kavanaugh situation. The guy has been a judge for X amount of years. Now he's going to the Supreme Court. Oh, all of a sudden the guy's a fucking rapist. Like, get the fuck out of here. No. Why didn't you say anything then? I'm sick and I'm tired of that. And by the way, women who come out early after the shit happens, they're brave. Those are brave women. Not when you wait fucking 40 years later and then you say, hey, listen, this is what happened. No, because think about all the potential people these people could have allegedly raped off the back of that within those years that you stayed silent. All right. See, and that's the other thing about this article. She sits there and she's talking about how because it doesn't get called out. Well, according to her, it doesn't get called out. Therefore, you're being silent about it. Why don't you put the onus where it belongs? The women are being silent. A lot of the women won't say anything. They'll just be quiet about it. What's more important, your dignity or being with a guy who claims he quote unquote loves you. Jesus Christ. I'm sick and tired of the fucking double standards. Let me see. She goes on to talk about Fabulous. Fabulous has an issue. He recently got indicted. Listen, if there's evidence of him beating the shit out of his girl, I'll be the first one to say, yeah, this dude is guilty. Let him face his time. He did the crime. Let him do the time. Okay? A lot of times, what this woman is worried about is a motherfucking accusation. Extentacion, rest in peace, little man. With him, in his situation, you just had, what's his name, go to the BET Cypher and diss him there. Was it Vic Mensa, I believe it was, that did that shit? Correct me if I'm wrong, but he went and did like a diss to him in one of the BET Cyphers, and he claimed that it was because the guy's an abuser and this and that. And, again, with the situation, I know with Extentacion, I know that he had a violence issue. So him, I'm more prone to believing that he would do that shit. You know what I mean? Because he would just walk up to people and punch them out. Like, there's videos of him doing that shit, like getting extremely violent. So I mean, I could kind of see the propensity to like lean towards this guy. But again, the guy's passed away. I mean, whatever happened. Again, you women need to come forward when it happens and not stick around because the guy's some fucking famous rapper. That's on you. Okay? You're the one that has that power to take this person down. Don't wait until the guy got a new album coming out, or the guy's about to make an investment into something, or this and that. Don't fucking do that, because it comes off fucking shady as shit. Okay? And I just want to show you guys something. Listen to it. Look at this. The fact that rappers would ever mirror the practice of police, an entity they vehemently criticize, is ironic. I love how people like this will criticize the cops. Meanwhile, if shit happened to them, the cops will be the first people that they will call. Spotify came close to delving out of some tangible consequences, removing R. Kelly's and Extentacion's music from the streaming services official playlist after Me Too and Time's Up activists pushed for corporations to cut ties with the artist. Buzzfeed News published allegations against R. Kelly that he was keeping women in an abusive cult. The singer continues to deny the allegations made against him. The victory was short-lived. 3 weeks later, the streaming service reversed its decision after receiving blowback from the music industry figures. According to Bloomberg News, representatives from musicians like Kendrick Lamar threatened to remove their clients' music. In a statement about its change of heart, Spotify said, "We don't aim to play judge and jury. Across all genres, our role is not to regulate artists. Therefore, we are moving away from implementing a policy around artist conduct. Its decision to protect these alleged predators in the industry is reminiscent of how, say, some police officers may protect one another, even when one of their own kills an unarmed black..." Oh God, here we go, man. Look, the fact that that rappers would ever mirror the practice of an entity they vehemently, yeah, I read that. It also serves as an example of how, for the still largely male-dominated genre, male privilege causes black men to oppress women. But in thinking of how artists push back on this debacle, the experience also demonstrated that the music industry knows how to mobilize when the issue is important enough to them. Look, R. Kelly is ostracized. All these people are ostracized. I mean, it's up to you, the consumer, to do what you have to do. I'm a big proponent of freedom of speech. You know what I mean? I look, R. Kelly still has some classic music to me. I mean, it's not to the point where, you know, if he gets in trouble or, you know, convicted of all this shit, I'm still gonna like his music. I'll just say the guy's a piece of shit. I'm not gonna deny that the guy hasn't made good music. And guess what? People probably tune in to that shit and say, okay, you know what? You know, I Believe I Can Fly and all this shit that they possibly play on Spotify or whatever. People tune in. It's money for them. This is why I keep trying to tell y'all, when you rely on all these outlets, especially when they're not black owned, guess what? They're going to do what they got to do for capital. They're capitalizing. You got to understand that. And, you know, I'm sick of these fucking weak ass articles. I'm sick of all of this Me Too nonsense. It's all bullshit. And by the way, hold on, the industry that plays on, yeah, the industry, listen to this, the industry that preys on black women the most in terms of actual assault victims continues to go unchecked. The last time I checked, black women are the ones who purchase, they're the actual consumers of a lot of this music. So, I mean, either they like being abused, according to you, or, I mean, what does that say? What do you say about that? Like, Jesus. Our ability to minimize the seriousness behind these offenses can be tied back to what we've been told about our worth, or those dark family secrets we were told to pretend never happened. It's easier to ignorantly step in the name of love at the family function if you've also been taught to two-step next to the uncle who molested you in silence. And why should you give up an artist you enjoy in support of their victims if no one is demanding justice for you? And this includes black men who diminished their sexual trauma, like Lil Wayne, whose admission of being raped at 11 has been joked about by many, including him on many platforms like Jimmy Kimmel Live. There are numerous black men in the industry who have talked about losing their virginity at an early age and played it off as a positive experience, like Diddy, Flavor Flav, Ja Rule, Chris Brown, who said losing his virginity at 8 to a girl prepared him to be a beast of dog. Look, okay, to speak on the Lil Wayne thing, yeah, some people have a way of coping with their experiences. A good way to do it is to make fun of it. Is to say, you know what? It is what it is. This is how I'm coping with it. Why? Because the guy's not fucking an emotional wreck. You know, oh well, you know, he's a piece of shit. No, that's the way that he decides to deal with it. As for these guys losing their experience early, losing their virginity early, I mean, I don't know, like, as a dude, that's just what it is. I mean, the shit with the age 6, that might be kind of funny. That strikes me as weird. But, you know, 12, 13, I mean, look, we're dudes. Like, at that time, you know, puberty's starting, we're looking at chicks, we see tits and everything. Dude, that's just how life is. I mean, cut it out. Look, let me cut this short. Actually, let me show you one more thing. Look at this chick's Twitter. I went on to that. Okay, so let's see what's happening here. Rape culture is deeply rooted in black history, as hip-hop, leaving black communities and music lovers with questions few really want to ask, but these questions and their answers must be reckoned with before these men ever will be. Shay Black. You've all moved on from Weinstein and that bunch already. Like I read, he's gonna get off scot-free. Last I read, he's gonna get off scot-free, along with a host of other serial perpetrators. Curious indeed. I would think that will warrant further exploration before you get to the rope for the rappers. Donald Trump, just saying. Oh God. Yeah, you got to bring Trump in, but he got a good point. We're actually covering all of the above. We have the range. Maybe read the story or the entire series. It's a part of before tweeting. Read the story is what they want you to do. Hashtag clickbait. No thanks. Also, rape culture is deeply rooted in black history as hip-hop. You actually wrote this. I think you need to go and read up on some black history, sis, because you are severely lacking. So did you get the big piece of chicken for this article? Terry Crews, how fitting. This chick goes, Eldridge Cleaver, James Bevel, civil rights leaders and rapists. Let's start. Okay, let's start. Over an estimated 10,000 priests of Catholic Church have been accused of raping young boys. The Catholic Church has paid out over, was that $3 million of your, no, is that 3 million? No, $3 billion of your tithes. Anything else? You're not attacking me by talking about my religion. I've already spoken up and against what priests and bishops in the Catholic Church have done and why the power structure of the Catholic Church engenders and perpetuates abuse. So nope. So my man goes, ooh, when it's something black, you got something to say, but I'm still waiting on your answer to the question. Like, so she goes, what more do you want me to say? The Catholic Church's abuse, the cover-up, and the use of collections and tithes to fund settlements worldwide is true and wrong. Abuse is abuse, whoever does it. I have no problem with criticizing both my religion and black men for abuse. My man goes, but it's not discussed anywhere on your page. I guess you only do it in the comfort of your own home unless it's dealing with black people. Ma'am, good day to you. Oh God, this is classic stuff. Oh man, but this is good shit. I suggest you go here because this is just nonsense. You know, I spent a lot of time on this. Check it out. Again, this is the beginning. This is the fucking beginning, and stay tuned. I'm gonna cover more of this nonsense that these SJWs and far leftists are trying to do to ruin hip hop. All right, leave your love, leave your hate. Most of all, subscribe, share my shit, and that's it. Peace, bitches.